here. Okay. How about now? How does everybody hear me now? Of course, we're gonna have to wait for the delay. The other joke is were they hearing you? Let's see. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So let me go ahead and start this over again. Um, this is a continuation of what I was posting on Twitter yesterday. Uh, Sorry about that, guys. I had something unchecked on OBS. Um, Now, what I did was I posted it's basically a ransom request on Twitter, something that we could timestamp an observation for, and that's what that was about. Was everybody posting their favorite woman sci-fi character on there, uh, which is something that I would not be able to fake. I would not be able to look at my phone or something like that and say that you know this was something that I planned or anything like that. It was just nothing more than just timestamp an event. Now, what I was doing the other day was I was looking up on Stellarium to see if there was a way that I could share an observation with somebody in the United States. I'm in Kaiserslautern, Germany, and it was recommended that I ask Astronomy Live because Astronomy Live has a very how do I say this nicely? He has an awesome place that he's allowed to go to all the time. And it happens to be less than a quarter of the Earth away. So that makes the ability for he and I to see things simultaneously in the sky without being too far around the Earth. And so this was a great opportunity. And so with me is Astronomy Live. And with that, what we ended up doing was it turns out that there's a time just about every time the moon's up or visible, should I say, where the moon is from an azimuth point of view. The moon is in the exact same. Yeah, how do I put that? It's between the two of us essentially. Right, same elevation, and then obviously different azimuths to get to it. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to make that observation and then check the phase and see what the field rotation would look like for the two different positions. And let's see here. Hold on a second here. Now I guess in order to do this, all I need to do is present then. So I will present entire screen. This one share. Oh, now I'm showing the damn thing again. Okay, well I didn't want to do that. Let's see here, and what I came up with is let's go over to this. Yes, I know I'm presenting to everyone. What I came up with is the uh, the moon is going to be according to Stellarium. The moon is going was just a little bit more than half. And to me, it was facing to the right, and to Astronomy Live, or from the Florida location, it would be facing damn near straight up. Um, and what I wanted to see is does that work on the globe or does that work on flat Earth? Now, we all know all the excuses that flat earthers have about the moon. It's some kind of hologram that they've never proven, it's some kind of projection that nobody's ever found the source, and things of that nature. And I'm sure we've all heard plenty of different versions of that. Um, we can only hear you and kind of low. Okay, well let me turn it up a little bit. How's that? Is it a little bit louder? All right. Let's see. Now they're saying that they couldn't hear you. I'm hearing you just fine. don't know. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's wait for the. We gotta wait for it to catch up. Unfortunately, before we get our responses, I hate that little delay. No, I do not have the extremely low mode on there. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I'm a bit better. Go ahead and you speak. I'm not really sure either. Again, I'm not the master of this here. Oh wait, hold on a second. Maybe if I turn around and do this. Now I'm seeing audio movement on your side.
Okay. Uh,
Okay, well, anyway, unfortunately, I've been doing all the talking, and so um, y'all didn't really miss much by not hearing astronomy live on there. So let's see. So we're gonna continue forward. So tell me this, astronomy live. Where was your viewing location? Mine is boring. Mine's just in a town in Germany.
okay. Hopefully people can hear me. I'll try to shout into the mic practically. But I was at Launch Complex 5 at the Air Force and now actually Space Force Museum. So this is the launch complex where the Mercury Redstone rockets were launched. This is where Alan Shepard and Gus Grissom first lifted off to be launched into space during the Mercury program. So I am a volunteer over at the museum there, and that means I can access that facility whenever I want. So I brought a camera out there and viewed the moon next to a Mercury Redstone rocket that's on display at Launch Complex 5.
Damn. I'm sorry. I'm jealous of the fact that you can be there. Um, I've been to Kennedy at least twice. Seen tons of rocket launches, but I mean, only ever been to actually onto the grounds of Kennedy Space Center like twice in my life when I was a lot younger and living in Florida. But no, and so here's what I set up, guys. What I set up was now he was able to use a rocket, and I had to use a building. Now, basically, what we're doing here is I'm going to show you. Let me go ahead and show you mine first, because otherwise, mine will pale in comparison to yours. But what I did, let me go over to this. Oops, I'm way out there. Now, what I did was I went out to. Oh, and by the way, anybody who doesn't know this, the P1000, I had to bring out the P1000 for this. The P1000 doesn't have a very good low light settings, but it has awesome color depth. So if you just use VLC player and just kind of increase it a little bit on the gamma, then you're good to go. Basically, what I wanted to do was I wanted to use a vertical structure with the moon in view, so we could positively identify the fact that we
Oh,
have the
one
camera
second.
or
They're just seeing the PowerPoint presentation. I'm not sure if maybe it's not. Oh, okay. No, they should be able to see it.
there's
Sorry, I'm
yeah.
watching now on the phone. I think chat's a little behind. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's that delay. It's that delay for yeah. Let's see. Man, can barely hear me. My volume is quite high, man. I'm not trying to be annoying about that. But nevertheless, what I wanted is a vertical structure in the picture, and I wanted the moon so we could tell that exactly what the orientation of the moon was, instead of somebody saying or the moon phase was, so nobody could say that we had turned cameras or anyway tried to force some kind of a specific image. So I was able to do this in Kaiserslautern, and this is me standing out on a corner of a road. I'll show where I was at here in a minute. But if you look into Kaiserslautern and look at Rathaus Nord, that's there's a corner of the main drag there that I'm standing on, and let's see here. And this was 5 before 11. It was going to be 11 o'clock my time and uh, 5 p.m. for Astronomy Live in Florida. And this is the City Hall. Now, some people might recognize that as being similar to the one in Los Angeles, and it is actually identical. They share the same blueprint. Um, at least that's what I'm told when I went through the orientation of being in Kaiserslautern. Let's see here, and so I wanted a vertical structure, and then I'm kind of messing around with it right now. I think I was just trying to get some of the alignment together. This is all just a raw footage. I didn't cut any of this together. And let me just go forward a little bit. Okay, so these were the posts that everybody made on my Twitter. And this is just to timestamp the fact that this wasn't something that I recorded at some kind of off time. Uh, oh, yeah, by the way, it was a good party night, so a couple of drunks come walking by me. I'm not going to play the sound. All right, let's see here. And so I'm going through all the things that everybody had posted just to, again, just to timestamp what time it was. I'll skip through some of this here. But those are all the ones that everybody had posted. And I thank everybody for doing that. That was just nothing more than, like I said, using Twitter as a timestamp, and then me showing what time it was. All right, so let's get on to my observation here. Now, basically, what I've done is I got myself somewhat in line with the moon and the building. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it directly lined up with it because of the fact that I would have had to stand out in the street and for either side of the building. So let's see here. And that's just to show that the vertical orientation is correct. And then this was the orientation I got. It was cool when it was bleached out. It was actually visible there, the entire moon. But this was the orientation I got. Now, nothing more special than that. That's all I really wanted. And now I actually zoomed in a lot farther and was having a little bit of fun with it, but that's not important. What's important is that I got this. This is if the horizon is the bottom of the camera. This is the orientation of the phase of the moon. And what's good about it being 35 degrees up is because of the fact that if it's too low on the horizon, then it starts getting distorted and starts looking like crap. So that was my observation. And now we'll go for the jealousy inducing one from Astronomy Live. Hold on a second here. Wait a minute. There we go. Now, Astronomy Live is out here at the launch complex. Oops. Turn the sound off. Is out here at the launch complex with Redstone rocket, and that was what he used for his vertical structure. Now, obviously, there's no way that this structure is going to be leaning in any way. That would be pretty dangerous. So let's see here.
Yeah. Apologies. It took me a few minutes to get the tripod leveled there, so that's why the rocket looks like it's ready to go off at an angle.
I also like your manual focus because P1000 can be a little bit of a pain in the ass when it comes to focusing.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I know. I quickly realized I was going to need manual focusing for this, so I could manually focus it alternatively on the rocket or the moon, like that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and jump forward a little bit here.
Yeah, I think it's about 8.5 minutes into the video when I actually get it properly leveled and
Yeah,
sorted.
this
Oh,
is
there's the site. Yeah.
here's him proving his location. Oops.
Yeah, you might want to go. Yeah, there's the blockhouse. That's the actual blockhouse that they used to launch the rocket from.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then there's some leftover gantry stuff that's disassembled there, laying in the grass. And then I zoom back up to the rocket.
No, we were not going to use the Tower of Pisa there, Jared. Let's see here. All right.
Wait
So,
for it. Wait for it. There it is.
ta-da!
So you can see the now you can see the rocket is properly vertical in the view. So tripod's much better.
All right. So we got that. And then the moon's behind the rocket.
Yeah, almost entirely. So I had to shuffle the tripod over a little bit to get it in a good angle.
Oh, trust me, the feet of my tripods have scrapes all over them. Let's see here. Let's see here.
That's better. Now you can see the moon through the launch escape tower scaffolding on top of the capsule there. I thought that was
Right.
a really cool shot.
That 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 is cool. I mean, if you consider the historic nature of that rocket sitting there, even that is just it's cool. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and move forward just a little bit. There we go. All right, so we got his vertical orientation. Man, that's so cool. But all that to say this, okay, we got his vertical orientation, we got my vertical orientation. Now, the first thing I have to say is that it matches 100% what Stellarium said. Okay, this is mine. This is I already did these captures a little earlier today. Hold on a second here. That's his. And this is mine. Okay. Now you can see that I used PowerPoint to align something here. What I'm aligning to is this spot right here. I forgot the damn name of the crater. And but we're aligned to this crater. And then what I did was I just used it to rotate. In other words, rotated this around. This got rotated around 33 degrees to get this line aligned up with that. And then this one got rotated around 123 degrees. Okay. And which puts it at 90 degrees. And let's see here. What I ended up doing was I modeled it out, our observations, in 3D. This is basically where we are. This is him in Florida. Oops. And then this is me in Kaiserslautern. Now, unfortunately, one limitation that I have on this 3D software is I can only rotate I can only snap rotate things at 0.5 degrees. Okay, which can make a great difference when it comes to triangulating things that are very far away. And but what we do see is that it does intersect quite far away. Now that little bit of extra would bring it out to its correct location, of course. These cameras that you see on here is just for the alignment process. If I were to, let's just say, camera, the Florida Azimuth camera, this is just so I actually turn the locations. And so this is the Azimuth from Florida, and then this is the elevation from Florida, which is the 35, coming up from here, so 35 degrees. And then this is from Kaiserslautern. This is the azimuth from Kaiserslautern. It's a little bit confusing looking, but basically it's this line right here. It's going out, I think it's 229 degrees. And then the elevation camera which is also going up at 35 degrees because it was directly between the two of us. Now, one thing that you have to notice here is one thing that it doesn't work on is it doesn't work on flat Earth. Now, both of these lines are both 35 degrees up, as in elevation above the surface, which means they will meet. But the problem is that it puts the moon all the way out at Antarctica. If you were to use the wildly absurd uh, uh, flat Earth map and the multiple deficiencies that are associated with the use of a compass on there, and simply put, it just doesn't work. Okay, I mean, it doesn't work, and this would put the I mean, if the moon was, and well, hold on a second here, let me go get this. Hold on, because I used Gmax to do the other one. Continue. Grab this. Open it up. Oops. Open recent. Kaiserslautern to Florida. Okay. So, this is what I mapped out. This is Kaiserslautern to Florida. And let me go ahead and do this. Okay. With a 5,000 kilometer high moon, but unfortunately, that 5,000 kilometers high is still all the way out in Antarctica. Now, if we were to compare the images, the phases, if we were to compare these phases, right? Let me just go ahead and get this off of here. If we were to compare these phases, now, first we'll deal with the Florida one. This is what it looked like from Florida. Okay, this is the Florida cam. This is what it looked like from Florida. From Kaiserslautern, the moon should look like this if this is the view from Florida. From Kaiserslautern, it should look like this, but it doesn't. Not even close. Now, I did both of them at the same time. This is what it looks like from Kaiserslautern on the Kaiserslautern cam. Then this is what it should look like on flat Earth. And obviously it doesn't. Not even close. It's not even in the right orientation, let alone the fact that there would be actually more of the moon visible as far as the lit side of it if it were to match this over in the Kaiserslautern side. I mean, just none of this works. And the whole purpose of this observation, the whole purpose of this observation was to show something that most of us already know, and that is flat Earth just don't work, man. I mean, it just really doesn't. Let me go over to views. Oh, wait, no, I wanted this out. That's what I wanted out. Okay, flat Earth just does not work. And I know everybody likes to say, oh, I just saw on there something that says perspective. Because perspective is an artistic technique, so therefore it can be represented in a 3D software program. This is what it would look like, and I'm sorry, but it doesn't fit. It does not work the way flat earthers say it does. And if you want to make some claim that this is, again, out at the dome or something like that, then it would still look... Oops, I'm going the wrong way here. Views... okay, it would still look different. There's nothing you can change. So if any flat earther out there has some way to explain how this is possible, how these two views can be the same, I'm all ears. But I want it more than just a couple of buzzwords or something like that. And yeah, I mean, this was pretty cut and dry. I'm actually struggling a little bit trying to put more words out to it. But what you got?
So, Sly, I've got one more thing. A few years ago, I created a spreadsheet for calculating the position and orientation of the moon. I created this actually to address conspiracy theorists. This was probably 10 years ago, who were talking about the Cheshire moon, or the moon that we see often from Florida, where it will look like it's laying flat. In fact, it's kind of doing that here, where the illuminated terminator is far from vertical. It's sort of 90 degrees from vertical almost in that image that I had. So if you put in the time and location into the spreadsheet, it will predict for you the position of the moon, the phase of the moon, and the orientation of that phase of the illuminated portion relative to the horizon. So it's mathematically predicting what the orientation should look like, obviously on a globe, for a given time and location. And so if I put in the location I was at Launchpad 5 at that time,
Hmm.
you get an orientation of the moon of 88.67 degrees from vertical. So, in other words, if you rotated that image I had of the moon by about 88 degrees, it would return the terminator to being vertical in the image, which is what you would see. Um, so, if I put in your location,
88
it should,
degrees. Hold on a
yeah,
second.
if,
There we
okay,
go. There we go. Hold on a second here. 88 degrees. Let's see here. Now, you're not going to see this until it catches up on YouTube because this is the one that's actually on the main screen. Hold on a second here. Format picture like this. Rotate it 88 degrees.
still catching up on YouTube. I see you
88
doing
degrees.
something.
You
Okay.
and I would be identical. Well, actually, yours is actually a little bit more upright than mine is.
A little more upright. So let me calculate for yours, Sly. If you give me your latitude and longitude, I can
Uh,
plug that into the spreadsheet and do a calculation.
sure. Hold on a second. I know I'm 49 north. Let's see here. Hold on a second here.
Yeah, do you have it in decimal format?
Sure. Let's see here. This is what I had worked out. You'll see it in a second. This is what I had worked out as far as our distances and locations. Let's see. I was at. Oops. I was at. How deep of a decimal you want?
Uh, Give me to two decimal places.
Okay. Latitude is
Uh-huh.
49.45.
49.45. Okay. And longitude, this is, I assume, going to be east.
Yeah. Longitude is 7.77 east.
7.77 east. Okay. So I have 11 degrees from vertical. So if you rotate yours counterclockwise by 11 degrees, it should return yours to roughly vertical.
Let's see. Yep. Both of these are essentially the same.
There you go. So
That's a
the
cool
math works.
spreadsheet, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so I made a video, like I said, it was about a decade ago at this point, I think,
Mm,
called Calculating the Position and Orientation of the Moon. And I have the spreadsheet linked in the description of that video. So you can go download the spreadsheet, and wouldn't you know it, it still works. This is great. So that's awesome.
oh wow. No, the only tools that I use, honestly, I'm a visual person. I mean, don't get me wrong. I can cram out some numbers mathematically, but I'm more of a visual person, and so that's why you find me always up in either in Gmax or in 3ds Max or just sometimes some of the stuff. I mean, as you saw, I just rotated the images that we made right here in PowerPoint. you know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
so for me it's all about the visual. I mean, what we observe. See, a lot of people, a lot of flat earthers get really mad when I say, don't trust your senses. I'm not saying don't use them. I'm just saying that you have to go a step further. You can't just, look at something and say, oh, I know what that is, and how that works and everything like that. No, you got to go a little bit further than that. And but being a visual person like myself, it's a little bit yeah. Right when the first thing that I thought of, right when you said, oh well, all we have to do is rotate it by this much and rotate it by that much, and all of a sudden it made sense to me, and I could do that right here in PowerPoint. You know,
Yeah, that's beautiful.
and as a matter of fact, hold on a second here. I'm even going to do it to the captures that I have. Let's see here. The captures I have um, from Stellarium. Let's see, 88. 88 was the first one. Let's see.
Yep, 88 was the first one.
Okay. And then mine was, what was it? Backwards 11, right?
Yep, counterclockwise 11 degrees.
Yep. And look at that. Even messing with those images, they match up to what we observed. I mean, come on. This is, to any flat earthers. Let's see. Turn. You know what? I'm tired of playing with volumes. I'm sorry if it's making anybody uncomfortable versus anybody else. I'm sorry. I'm not going to play with volumes anymore. Um, Plus, we're almost done here anyway. The So mathematically, it works out to the globe. Visually, it works out to the globe. Modeled out, does not work on flat Earth. Tested out, does not work on flat Earth. Um, I'm kind of out of things to say about it. It doesn't work on flat Earth, guys. I mean, plain and simple. But yet, again, with all the discussion of people hating models and stuff like that, models are created as results to use as predictions, because models are the result of, I would say, years and years and years and years. I mean, I can't count up how many years were probably put into the heliocentric model and everything that we today know as just textbook stuff. I can't even imagine how much work was put into all that, but only to have a flat earther deny the very technologies that they're using right now to turn around and say, no, that's not what it is. Okay. I don't care what you think about models. I really don't. I don't care what you think about, modeling things out, but if you're not going to do it, then I'm sorry. Then you don't have, if you can't show that it works, then nobody's going to care. I mean, really, nobody's going to care. So, anyway, long story short, the two observations made from over 7,000 kilometers away from each other, surface kilometers, mind you, 7,000 surface kilometers away, one person in daylight, one person in night, and it matches the exact predictions that were made by the model, exact predictions that were made by the math, exact predictions that were made by timeanddate.com, which is what I used to originally get some of the numbers from, and it matches out. I mean, it matches out in Stellarium, and like I said, the observations, they comply with all of that. All of those things comply together. It's not one of those, oh, well, that one's a little bit off, or that one's wrong, or, some other wild excuse. Sorry, guys, but it works just fine. Always has, always will. Flat Earth is a paranoid crock of shit. Sorry. And some of y'all don't even really believe in it. Let's be honest. So, anyway, let's see. Anybody out there yelling and screaming right now? Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
So let me say out hi to a couple of folks out there. First of all, Helusion. She knows who that is. Let's see. That's Surf Perzel, of course. What's up, Tommy? What's going on there? None of your business. And let's see. Jared, obviously, we saw in there. Earth is Life. Hey, how you doing? Let's see here. I mean, some of these names have literally been ever since my first video came out. I mean, some of these guys have been around for a long time. Subfacti. Oh, man. Well, I can't go through this whole list, but I'm just going to say, I appreciate everybody stopping by. Astronomy Live, of course, I appreciate your participation in this. It was definitely a lot of fun, and it's got very revealing information.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it was fun. It's always fun to go out there and see the pad and everything. So I was happy to do it, and I think the result came out very nicely. And to me it's almost like magic seeing the numbers all line up like this. I mean, as you said, you're a visual person. I'm very much a numbers guy when it comes to this stuff, and being able to type it all out and punch in the numbers on a spreadsheet I did 10 years ago and it still works. I mean, that's predictive power right there. That's something I've published a decade ago and it still works today. Show me a flat earth model that actually works at predicting things like this, making successful predictions
Predicting
of
two
reality.
things.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree, man. I mean, every I've been doing this for too many years. Every single excuse that I've heard from a flat earther does not comply with the next excuse they give for the next thing and all this. But we just showed across like 7 different methods that all of these things comply with the observation that we've had. And I mean, I'm sorry, man. This is just, I don't care what flat earthers have to say about NASA. I don't care what flat earthers have to say about gravity. I don't care about any of that because they just out of hand dismiss it anyway unless it says something that they think is relevant to their own cause. Okay, but if you can't actually hammer out the use your senses observations that you guys hold so high and dear, if you can't hammer those out, I'm sorry, man, but the argument is lost. It's dead on arrival. I mean, even today, I was actually working on a video just before I got on this live stream. Even today, I was out doing the work that flat earthers refuse to do. Absolutely refuse to do. And it's but you know what? There's a lot of people out there who think that I'm there to convert flat earthers or something like that. I don't do this for flat earthers. I don't do any of this for flat earthers. I do this because I despise disinformation. And especially along a subject line that I actually hold dear. I mean, I love astronomy, and I love all of that. I've been tickled by that since I was a kid, and I'm sorry. I despise disinformation, and I despise the people who knowingly spread it. And now I might talk a little chill and stuff like that, but I mean, those people, the ones who literally do nothing more than try and disrupt things, they disgust me. And but this is the work. This is how the work works. And until a flat earther can bring up even something like as simple as this, we were just two dudes who took a timed picture. Just two dudes doing that. And it matched up with every single thing that we could throw at it. I couldn't even say that it was off by a degree. So, that's all I'm going to say on this, guys. I don't want to get off my soapbox here. Um, there's all kinds of people up in Twitter right now who want to argue about stupid stuff and all this. But if you can't get past the sun and the moon, you got no argument. Those are daily observations made by everybody on the planet. If you can't get past that, I don't care. I really don't. But the reason why I do this, though, is because of the fact that, number one, I'm a dad. Okay, I'm a father of two. And my boys have grown up strong, grown up smart, because I taught them to challenge themselves. And seems to have worked out just fine. What I didn't want, or better said, I guess one of the things that I do this for is to show that there is a counterbalance to all of this paranoid delusion crap that flat earthers perform or represent. I needed to show that there's a counterbalance to it because there are some people out there who would buy some of these stories, who would actually say, "Oh yeah, that's a pretty good argument," and all this. I'm sorry. I'm there. I'm there for all the dads who don't know that their kids are paying attention to this shit. And so I don't care what a flat earther thinks of me. I've been called a liar. I can't remember how many times. I've been called dishonest, a shill, had my life threatened. I mean, all that other stuff. None of that means anything to me. I hate disinformation. Some of the people that I collaborate with also hate disinformation, and we gladly throw it in your face, whether it's numeric, in graphic, or photographic. And I had the privilege today of doing this with Astronomy Live, and I just the results are everything that I expected, everything that everybody else expected. This should almost be boring to people, and but yet there will be people in my comment section who are going to deny the results of this somehow. They're going to make up things about the moon and what the moon is and what the moon isn't and all that other stuff. So hey, screw it. Anyway, like I said, I promised to get off my soapbox. Be looking out for another video from me. It will probably be out. It could be out tonight. Will most likely be out tomorrow. It's just gonna piss off some more flat earthers. So, and I also have two more videos very shortly on the horizon for to cover a couple of other claims. I put a little bit of time into these, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great Memorial Day. To all my brothers and sisters in arms, uh, uh, remember what the day is for, and it's not just a barbecue, but it's a day of remembrance. So anyway, Astronomy Live, thanks for hanging out. Didn't mean to
Thank
take up
you. I
too much of your
appreciate it.
time.
No, no, thank you. And yeah, yeah, just to second that, happy Memorial Day, and thank you to the sacrifice of all of our troops out there for keeping us safe and allowed to come on the internet here and talk trash about flat Earth. Appreciate it.
All right, and to everybody who stopped by and is hanging out in the chat there. Like I said, more videos to come, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you later. Oh yeah, I don't know how to do the boom on this. I still haven't figured out how to do the damn boom on this damn thing. Anyway, y'all have a nice night. Let's see.